عفو الله يا عفو الله يا عفو الله.
Hi Hasmin, how are you? Hope everything is okay, right?
Hi Sultan. Yes, I'm fine. Thanks to you.
Okay, there's something that I want to tell to you. Recently, several countries such as the United States, United Kingdom, Italy, Spain are beginning to change their mind to support Palestine, even they still support Israel. It's not about uh, the religion, it's about the politics. What do you think? Is it of Ireland that living pro-Israel and become the pro-Palestine and then become the figure behind and also become the figure behind the pro-Israel that Israel stage consciousness on support Israel?
First of all, what can I say here? There is nothing simple about the conflict between Israel and Palestine, and there never will be. The history, the international influences, even the very terms we use to talk about it are incredibly complicated. Honestly, I am not really sure if it relates to the Ireland situation or anything else. But what can I say from my side? Why several countries, such as like United States, United Kingdom, like Italy, Spain, Ireland, and so on, start to show their support for Palestine because they start to realize that there is no ending to the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Maybe they start to realize that what is wrong and what is right to support. The president of the United States, Joe Biden, showed a different stand than his predecessor Donald Trump, who was pro-Israel when he loudly expressed support for the Palestinian claim to become an independent state on the international stage. Joe Biden once said, we need to achieve lasting peace for the sake of the people of West Asia in the future, and there is still a long way to go. However, we cannot to give up on any possible progress of the Israel-Palestine peace effort, he said in a speech at the 76th United Nations General Assembly in New York last year. Based on what he said, it is very clear that they are serious about resolving the conflict between Palestine and Israel.
Israel is rumored to be dissolving their government after their mission is not as expected. What do you think? What will happen to the countries that support Israel, like the USA, France, and Germany in the future? I mean, for the next, if Israel has gone after becoming a flop stage.
Yes, I also heard the news about the dissolution of the Israel government recently. What I know, Israel Prime Minister Naftali Bennett on Monday announced the parliament, or they known as Knesset, will be dissolved next week, which will see Foreign Minister Yair Lapid take over the leadership temporarily. Back to your question, absolutely. When there is a dissolution of the government, it will affect the countries that support them. For example, their diplomatic relation will suffer a breakdown. Basically, this relationship is built on a policy of trust, compatibility, and a desire to achieve goals the same in the interests of their respective government. Okay, Sultan, I want to ask you, from your side, why does this violence keep happening? Why is the conflict why is the conflict between Israel and Palestine never ending? And if you don't mind, can you share your opinion about how the conflict is going to end?
You know, the background to the Palestine and Israel conflict is that we want to stabilize a state on the same regions. The geographical area that Palestine and Israel are fighting over is located between the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan rivers. The region is now labeled Israel on the maps, but unfortunately, although the American and Europe's country's sense of salvation in Israel has already experienced a drastic surge, there are several Middle Eastern countries that have changed their mind for the normalization of their relations with Israel, namely in addition to Turkey. And apart from Turkish, the four Arab states have their own motives related to the normalization of relations with Israel, such as United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco, and most recently, Egypt.
Boycott are time-honored, non-violent means through which citizens can influence government to respect civil and human rights. As we know, the movement for boycotts, divestment and sanction, or we call that as BDS, began in July 2005. From your perspective, what's the significance of the BDS movement to the conflict between Israel and Palestine?
Um, BDS, BDS campaigns in various countries have led to a negative impression of several Israel brands in the international markets. Just for example, is such as the Puma and something like that. And then it is also caused several international companies to shift their office, which were previously located in the West Bank. Did you know, for the entertainment world on the Israel and Palestine conflict, of some of some of some world figures, especially Hollywood celebrities, not all of them are pro-Israel like Harry Styles. In fact, there are those who are pro-Palestine. One of them is Zayn Malik, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mark Ruffalo, Selena Gomez, and the last is Emma Watson.
Yes, Sultan, I agree with you. There are still many people out there who support Palestine, and I hope, with the support of these known people, the popular people, that we can resolve the dispute between Israel and Palestine. The Palestine issue is not merely a clash between religions, but it is an issue of universal humanity. For decades, the Palestinian people have been denied their right to occupy their own homeland.
I know gold is not enough.